Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Daily Soul Bytes show. My name is Bola Abimbola. I am your host. And this is the show where we interview expert authors and coaches and entrepreneurs to share their insights to expand collective consciousness. And today, my guest is Tom Paladino, who is based in Florida. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Bola. Thanks for the invite.
And Tom, I will read a bit about Tom before we start. Tom Paladino is a holistic medical expert, is a scalar energy researcher and humanitarian whose mission is to educate the world on the quantum healing of scalar energy, the divine healing of the universe. Entrepreneur following the steps of Nikola Tesla and other greats. And I think this is really important work because, there are two different types of energy, really. There's the scalar energy and there's the electromagnetic energy. And
Yes.
we have all this electromagnetic energy around us. We cannot avoid it. It's in our microwaves, on our phones, it's everywhere. And really, this is about what we do as individuals to really come to counteract some of the impact on our health, because that's what's happening at the moment. There is a lot of negative impact from this electromagnetic energies around us. And as a Reiki practitioner, I know the impact of, on our health and how we can really begin to improve our health and well-being by using the power of infinite energy, the divine life force that is available to us. So, Tom, I'm really looking forward to hearing about your scalar energy practices and how you help the world. So tell us a bit more about this.
Thank you. Well, you're absolutely correct. That's rather astute of you. We are in a sea of electricity and magnetism, which is harmful in many cases. So I propose a different energy that is benign. Actually, it's quite helpful. So we're going to speak about scalar energy, not electricity. I'm in my laboratory, and behind me are scalar energy instruments. This is the key to my work. I'm an inventor. I'm a researcher. I work with energy instruments. And what energy can do as far as human and animal health is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So behind me is a scalar energy instrument. I'm going to demonstrate really quickly. This instrument is functioning now. It's broadcasting energy. That's a Tesla coil, giving off scalar energy, not electricity, scalar energy. There's so much energy from that coil that if I were to hold a light bulb in my hand, it would illuminate under the influence of this energy instrument. So that's scalar energy. Now, I work with people and animals with this instrument, but I work in a very unique fashion. I don't work with people or animals immediately in person, so to speak. I work with photographs of people and animals. I hold up my photograph as an example. My photograph is an energy signal. There's energy that can be interpreted from this photograph. If I place my photograph in the instrument, my photograph there is in a scalar energy environment. That's the key to my work. So some people call that quantum healing, energy healing, the biofield. Some people refer to the aura. Everybody has an aura or a spirit. That's what I'm. So I work with scalar energy instruments. That's the energy of the sun and the stars. And this instrument will allow me to capture that energy from the sun and the stars. Now, in practice, I work with photographs of people and animals. This is my photograph. If I were to place my photograph inside that force field, that energy field, I would access my aura or my quantum field. Some people call that a biofield. The key to my work is I work with energy fields, quantum fields. I never work with people or animals in person. And I can improve, if you will, the quantum health of people and animals through the photograph. It's a new science, so hold on to your hat. We'll explain this. Now, let's take an example. This instrument is capable of a chakra balancing. If I were to place my photograph in the quantum field, again, working with this energy, I could download energy into my quantum field. If I can illuminate a light bulb, I can illuminate my chakras. So the point is, having my photograph in the quantum field allows me to access the energy field, download the white light, and to balance accordingly my energy fields, my chakras, my meridians, my brain waves. Many people say that when I work with their photograph, I have a significant influence on their mental health, their emotional health. Why? Because the energy in itself is healing. This white light, this divine light, balances the chakras and the brain waves, if you will. Some people say their depression is lifted. Others will say that they're no longer anxious. Some people say that their memory is enhanced. All of that is the function of energy, light. So there's no human intervention here. There's no human reasoning. The light is divine. I work with the divine. And in so doing, I have excellent results. Light never makes a mistake. This is what I'm so keen on with my research. There's no human reasoning. The light, the energy, is the animating force.
That's beautiful. I love the way that you have captured this in a mechanical way with your tools, because this is really remote healing. This is really what Reiki energy healing is about. This is pranic healing. And I love the way you have captured it with your Tesla coil. And this is something that I know that has been, I think it was Maxwell in the 1800s who discovered, or he kind of, had a lot of writings on scalar energy. And since then, Nikola Tesla has kind of written a lot about it as well. So I really appreciate that about you. How did you come to this place? What's that journey that you've taken? What led you to this place where you are not only working with, with infinite divine energy, which a lot of us, it's not as common as we think. Those of us who work in this field, we are not that many, remember looking at the 8 billion of us on the planet. So what led you to this place?
Yes. Probably I read Maxwell and Tesla, and I realized that both men were of the understanding that there's another type of energy, scalar energy. They both defined it. Actually, Tesla had working instruments. Why did I pursue that course of study? I see the great promise. I see how many inventions can spin off from this. If you can control energy, you can control nature, plain and simple. So a scalar energy instrument will allow you this, if you will, this command, this dominion over nature. Now, that was my, if you will, my flatus. That was my driving force, and it remains so today. I will say that electricity will eventually be passé. Scalar energy will be the preferred energy. It's free, it's clean, no carbon footprint. You simply access the energy from the sun and the stars. And what could be better? So right now I'm working with quantum health. But eventually I hope I'll be able to work with this energy and light up a city, light up a building. We're getting there.
I do hope that the matrix, the system will begin to see the incentive, they will begin to see the benefits. Were you working with copper coils at the age of 3, Tom?
Copper coils, I'm glad you mentioned that. These are Tesla coils. They are somewhat of a copper amalgam. But that's the key. When you can find yourself into a Tesla coil, you can see that it's a different geometry. That type of Tesla coil will allow a standing wave. You can amplify scalar energy with a Tesla coil. That's a good point.
And so what were you doing in secondary school and university? What was that like? I'd like to know more about that.
Okay. Well, throughout my childhood, I had a vivid imagination, and I always wanted to experiment. So, as long as you have that thirst for knowledge and that desire to try something new, you'll be successful. It's only when you're bound to a lifestyle of mediocrity that you're not going to get anywhere. When I went on to university study, I wanted a classical education. It's the best way I could put it. I wanted a firm understanding of the sciences and even the arts. But later in life, I put all that aside and I said, I have to do this on my own now. Why? Because all of it is groundbreaking. All of this is new. All of this is cutting edge. So from, say, the age of 33, 34, I left my university career behind, no longer We would take a college class. It was all scalar energy. And that's what you have to do. The invention is difficult. It's painstaking. Discovery is difficult. It's painstaking. And as long as you're willing to pursue that private study, you will make progress. But you have to be dedicated.
Mm, mm. Thank you, Tom. I mean, it's always interesting to kind of find out how people get to where they are, because I believe in synchronicity.
Yep.
I think we have come into this earth plane from birth, and everything we experience from birth to adulthood is guiding us to something. Something led you to really become more interested in scalar energy rather than electromagnetic
Yeah.
energy. Something guided you, something must have really made you feel that this is something you want to teach, something you want to spread, something you do. And I'd like to hear a bit more about those things
Okay.
that
Okay.
led you into this place as a passion, because your passion is there. It's really wonderful to see. I'd like
Thank
to
you.
hear more. Yes.
Thank you. It was Nikola Tesla. I started reading books about Tesla, or even his autobiography, if you will, if you will, at an early age. And I started to look at his inventions. And I looked at the great promise. It was Nikola Tesla. That great scientist, Tesla, has changed the world in more ways than we could ever imagine. He gave us electricity. Now, later in his life, he was giving us scalar energy. We did not pay attention to it. This is a scalar energy instrument that I'm pointing to. And you'll notice that there's no moving parts. Well, Tesla, later in his life, he was working with scalar energy. There were no moving parts. So you might ask, where's the kinetic energy coming from? It's coming from the stars. The energy is from the stars. It's not from a motor. There's no motor on this instrument. I simply create a standing wave, the scalar wave. So when I saw that Tesla could do away with motors and just capture the energy of the sun and the stars, that the new motor is the stars, I said to myself, this is it. This is the supreme energy. It was Tesla.
And you were curious about it, and it kind of led you to become much more studious. So what can clients expect when they connect with you, Tom?
I developed this process to the point where I can take a photograph of a microbe. I'm going to hold up a photograph of the Epstein-Barr virus. This is a magnified photograph. Some people say that this contributes to mononucleosis and other diseases. If I place these two photographs in my instrument, I want to make this clear, this is a communication process. The two energy fields communicate. There's chi or prana, or there's a matrix of energy that communicates. So I can communicate Epstein-Barr with my photograph. And in so doing, the instrument will find Epstein-Barr, the signal of Epstein-Barr in my quantum field, and eradicate it. So instead of working on a biological level and trying to eradicate a virus, we work on a quantum level, on an information level, and we eradicate the intelligence. There's a difference. The upshot, the result is people feel better. Why? Because you can remove the intelligence of a microbe, in this case, Epstein-Barr. You're no longer have that virus. You're no longer infected with the Epstein virus. We remove the virus from your quantum field, which is an energy field. So this is the easy way to go about eradicating microbes.
Yeah, it is. I call it effortless.
Yes.
Completely effortless.
And it's
such,
yes.
Yeah, it is
Go
such
on.
a joy. Yes.
Yes, it is. We're no longer at this level, the physical level. We're at the spiritual, the auric level.
Yeah.
And we can transcend time and space.
Yes.
We're in command. In other words, a scalar energy instrument looks at the intelligence of Epstein-Barr and removes that intelligence.
Yes.
So to be clear, it's not a biological process. It's a higher order. It's an auric process or spiritual process in which we can negate the intelligence of Epstein-Barr.
Yeah.
Well, I would much rather work, and I'll speak for you if I may, we would much rather work at the spiritual level, the higher level, than the chemical level.
Yeah. Yes, me too. That's lovely. Thank you so much, Tom. So where can people find you if they want to connect? I'm sure people want to connect with you. How can they connect with you?
Thank
What
you.
are you offering at the moment?
Yeah. In order to introduce this new science, this is a new technique. My instruments are unique. I offer 15 days of free sessions. Please go to our website, scalarlight.com. Send in your photograph if you want. You can send in photographs of your family and pets. Okay? We'll work with you for 15 days. We'll balance your chakras. We'll identify microbes and eliminate them. We'll also increase or download nutrients. Scalarlight.com. The key to my work is you must experience this. This has never been done before. Go to the website, sign up. We give everybody in the world 15 days of free sessions. You'll prove it to yourself that this is of merit.
Oh, wow, that is wonderful. 15 days. That is wonderful. Thank you so
Thanks.
much, Tom. Thank you for connecting with me. I actually do want to read a bit about this is telling me to read a bit about love. This is my new book that has just been published on it's Daily Soul, and it's just been published by Balboa Press. And I want to read a section on it, and because this is what you're doing, this is because we're spiritual beings, and infinite energy is about love. This is the energy that really helps us to transform that intelligence within us, because we're all unique pieces of infinite intelligence. And what we do as energy practitioners is really we are using that loving, unconditionally loving energy to transform lives. So this is a chapter on love from my book, Daily Soul Bytes. Love is sweet. Many of us have experienced love at least at some point or for the majority of our life, whether as a baby or as a child, a teenager, a young adult, grown-up adult, or as an older person. You would have experienced how sweet love can be. It could have been in a gesture, a word, or an act of care, generosity, or compassion. It could have been in intimacy with another, one of unconditional positive regard. It may have been in being given some leeway or a second chance, or it could have been by watching it around you. Love is an unforgettable experience that hardly anything else surpasses. Or it, so it is no wonder that we seek it. The only thing that is that love also can be elusive at times. It can seem hard to keep or even find in the first place. True love, especially, can sometimes feel like the Holy Grail, something to be sought after or imagined in futility. But nonetheless, we go for it. And it can be a tug and push feeling until we accept our need for it. Take your time to honestly accept your need for love, that you are love, and it becomes easier to experience and appreciate love in your best life. So that is a chapter on love from my book Daily Soul Vibes, because I think really we need to be moving away from this very capitalistic way of living life and going back to love. And this is where energy healing really is powerful. This is the loving being that we are. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining me, Tom. I look forward to connecting with you again sometime.
Thank you. I like your expression. This is the energy of love. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank our audience for joining us today. And I look forward to connecting with you again on the next episode of Daily Soul Bites. Bye bye.